looking at us. Shh. Don't make any sudden moves. Except for the fact that the band's name literally is 3 exclamation points. Am I supposed to be loud? Oh, for heaven's sakes. Wallop is the 8th studio album released by pretty sure I pronounced that right. But anyway, also known as triple exclamation points. I wonder how many people have tried to pronounce that. Oh, gosh. Okay. Way to make things difficult upon entry, but okay, let's do this. This is another one of those albums where I think I heard some of the music that caught my attention, but also the album cover was very enticing. I figured, why not? Let's give it a go. This is very strange music, I've got to say. It feels like music I should like, but it is very perplexing, I guess. They have some interesting concepts, and again, being an 8th studio album and me being a newcomer to this band, I'm not always sure what to think about with their other past music, which started back in 2001, I think. There's a lot in here to think about. There's a lot in here to kind of just scratch your head a little bit at. And I think it's even harder to try and explain, but I'm going to do my best right here. The theme that I can kind of collect for the whole album, all the songs individually can be different, but as a whole, this feels like a teen antagonist oriented kind of music. It's very self-indulgence oriented. To a degree, I guess, it is taking itself a little too seriously. It's not entirely self-aware, or at least that's how it's portraying itself, if it is in fact being focused through the eyes and perspective of maybe a teen at that certain kind of age in their adolescence. As the title suggests, this packs Wallop. I don't know if it's the kind of wallop I wished I had received, or if they were purposely trying to force upon the person who is listening. I am not sure. But let me talk a little bit about some of the songs, some of the vibes, and other ideas that I got through some of the individual tracks on here. Serbia drums. The vocals on here kind of carry over a overconfident student and a party planner, if you will, and also happens to have a conveniently average DJ for that party. I will say this song, My Fault, does have a pretty good 90s collab party vocal kind of thing going on there, but it's still a song I have issues with. $50 million, that song was a little too weird for me, but it did have a good instrumental break though, which surprised me quite a bit when I was like, oh, okay, we're doing one of these now. Thank you. And just over and over and over again, the lyrics in most of these songs I just found kind of off-putting. Yeah, some of them cursed a bit. Yeah, some of them were just kind of odd. I just felt a very strong disconnect with this. And again, me trying to say that this might be geared toward a younger audience, even though I just can't tell entirely. That's just kind of what I'm imagining when listening to this. I feel like there should be a way for anyone who listens to this album to understand at least it is being directed at that, so therefore you can potentially understand that the ideal recipient of the message or the vibe, you can kind of, just get it. And I really don't. I don't feel like the people who would kind of be the target audience of this really would get this, or that maybe they would, but for all the wrong reasons. And that kind of concerns me to a degree. There's a part of me that wants to give props for creativity, but there's also enough elements or lack of elements, depending on which song you're looking at, that I just can't give that praise. It's very mind-boggling and very just not centered in the zone. I'm not sure if I'm going to be describing this super well at this point, because the more my brain swirls around a little bit, and it makes me think, I feel like I need to even listen to this more, but I'm so perplexed after having given this album multiple listens that I don't know how to convey everything incredibly clearly. But I've given some ideas already, so I hope that kind of suggests something. I am curious for those who are followers of this band, because 8 albums from 2001 to 2019, that's some longevity right there, right? So I would like to know if any fan of this band does watch this review, what your take on this album is, what their past work has been like, what do they normally go for. I'm curious because I couldn't really get into this. The thing I like most about this album is the album cover. And that's great. I love it when something about the album can draw new listeners in. And I am glad I listened to this. I just don't see myself listening to it ever again. I just feel like this was just kind of a fun experience, and to just, make a review out of it. So after having listened and reviewed this album with production of 88%, creativity 64%, expression and lyrics 68%, I'm going to give this album an okay. Nothing drove it down completely all the way to the bottom for me here. I just don't find enough here that is very praiseworthy. It has elements that do make it music. That's probably the best compliment I can pull out right now. But please comment below if you have any experience with this band at all. I'm very curious. Also, if I pronounce that. If that's what it is, that's creative, but I don't get the exclamation points. Whatever. I'm done. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. And remember, if you want to discover, promote, and review the best in entertainment, remember to subscribe and follow all the social media for this channel so you can get that yes in your life. See you next time. Exclamation point. Yeah, I still don't know if I'm doing it right. But, yeah.